Hey, let's check it out here if everything is going well. And it seems that the content is arriving, and yep. Just see if the feed looks well. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Nice to have everyone here. Pretty cool. And so we will start another live show now, everybody. Let's just check out here, and yep, here we go. Here we go. Hello everybody, welcome aboard. This is the Shortwave radio show. We're here every week, alternating Fridays and Saturdays. So nice to have everyone on board. And of course, we are talking about shortwave radio in general, have a lot of fun. There's a chat room with a lot of cool people that have a lot of fun also. They're great people that, it's just fun to see everybody. Today, of course, we talk about shortwave radio. My name is Gilles. I'm located in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And of course, this show is on a Friday, so we are May 19th, 2017. And of course, that means that next show will be a Saturday. So the next show will be on Saturday, May 27th. And so we're going to check out some frequency ranges in the next two shows. So today, we'll talk about the international broadcast bands, and we'll talk about the amateur radio bands. And the reason why I want to talk about that, it's a question that comes back so often. People get a shortwave radio and say, hey, it seems like I'm tuning at random and get stations. What looks like random on shortwave very often is actually not random. So we're going to actually look at the different international broadcast band and amateur bands today, and we'll talk about the different propagation characteristics and how and stations you can hear in there. So hope everybody will enjoy this. And this is, of course, going to be today's subject. I want to thank everybody for being here. It's always cool to have everyone on board. So, like I said, my name is Gilles, and we're located in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. So, hello, Cooleyham Radio, Andre, Bobby Burgess, Luis Arevalo, Bullfrog 89, Mark Schmidt, nice to have you on board. Luis is 86 UP. Neil Toombs, hello there. Bobby Burgess is in Morgan City, Louisiana, USA. In Bullfrog 89 is KD2 CXU. Pretty nice to have you here. Water at the end of the river. Here it's actually, things are actually winding down. I went, I had a tech job to do near the Prairie River Monday. So I took the time to actually go next to the water shore to see if the water was high. It was a little higher than usual, but it didn't seem too bad. So, water's slowly going down. And but I think things are actually getting better. We've had 2 days of extremely hot summer conditions here. Yesterday and Wednesday we had 30 plus degrees Celsius here in Montreal, which is like upper 80s. So really, really nice, sunny, warm weather. It was really cool. Today is actually much cooler. Woke up this morning, I had to close the windows. It really was cool. Temperature about, I'd say around 65 Fahrenheit, around 17, 18 Celsius. But it's perfect, I don't like it when it's too hot, so it's perfect like that. Nice to have everybody on board. Kaspar Kazahubu, Ralph. Nice to have you here. William Helms, Ralph Bender, John Ritson D, which is 2E0 JGR. Brian, Iowa, nice to have you on board on the live show. Hi, Mapper from Moscow, so cool. DD2DR is Kaspar Kazahubo. And MDK2, PLF from France, Ethan Basque, Richard Cook. Hello, everybody. Nice to have all of you here. And that's an interesting one. Ethan Best noticed that NHK was on 6015 instead of 6105. Maybe they punched the wrong frequency in the transmitter. Kind of interesting. And Ethan Best is KC9YDN, Greenwood, Indiana, USA. Randall Klontz from Northeast Illinois. Denny, Shortwave and Radio DX, cheers. Nice to have you on board. 91 degrees in Yonkers, New York. Yeah, that's what we had yesterday, something like that. Much cooler here, so I guess it's going to be much cooler in the weekend for you guys also in the state of New York. I believe the cold weather is going down a little bit. So, nice to have you here. Hello there, my friend from Athens, Greece. Nice to have you here, Pyrus. Pretty cool. Mike Kopus, hello from Miller City, Ohio. And thank you very much for a nice comment. Enjoying my shows. Vensterbank from the Netherlands, nice to have you here. What's my take on grounding a long wire? Well, I think grounding can often improve things when it's well done. But from experience here, and many times when I grounded my receivers and my, and played around with that, it doesn't always appear to work really well. It really depends, I think, on the conditions, on the type of ground you have, where you take your ground, and how long the wire is from your radio to the ground. So, I think it's experimenting is the best way to see how, what conditions it's going to give you. Jerry DX, nice to have you here, as usual. And I was looking at your, I was looking at the, your posts, your emails that you send me, Jerry, by the way. Always fun to look at that for sure. Juan Amigo from Barcelona, nice to have you here. And pretty cool. Richard Cook's receiving the voice of Korea 13760, not bad. I'm on 15540, which has a really good signal from Radio Kuwait with some pop music. Even kind of 70s rock music for a little while here. So kind of nice to have everyone here. Salvo Morina, hello there from Italy. Nice to have you here. Martin Herrera from Pachuca City in Mexico. Nice to have you here. Really cool to have everybody around the world, watching. Really, really nice. Alex W. Slater from Chile, but currently in Orlando, Florida. Cool. Nice to have you here. So hope everybody's going to have some fun today. We'll talk about shortwave radio. And always cool to have everyone on board. So, international broadcast bands is, I'm not sure. Bubba Seattle, hello there, says, is the monitor big enough? No, I need at least 20-inch more. So, nice to have everyone on board, by the way. And I'm also on the IRC chat room of the Digital Editions IRC chat room for those that still go there. So nice to have you here. That is nice. Alex will be visiting WRMI broadcast site in Okeechobee next Tuesday. Wow, you lucky bum. We want to see pictures. Really, really nice. Oh, really? Cool, Alex. If you can do that, record something. And by the way, you know what? I was thinking also about something. If anybody has a video or something that they want me to, show or talk about, what's interesting here is because when I do the show with this monitor or this TV here, I can actually play, any YouTube videos or videos that you could send me personally. And it's so I can actually show it to everybody also at the same time. So really, really nice. Bobby Seattle, Digital Addictions is a place where there's a IRC chat room, but it's very quiet now that everybody joins mostly through the chat room in the Gmail, in the YouTube chat room. Sorry, so there's not a lot of people anymore here. Hey there, KM4UBR, and he's got his notebook ready. Cool. Nice to have everybody here. So, okay. Bobby says, might try the up converter when I do get some flow going in September. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I think that's going to be fun. 600-inch TV. So, anyways, we'll talk about first of the international broadcast band. We'll go through each international broadcast band slowly. Because I think it's something that a lot of newbies don't know where to listen to and what are, and then we'll talk about the different characteristics also of these international broadcast bands for propagation. There are also international broadcast bands that aren't used a lot, but sometimes it's fun to know that you are, basically that there's one there, because sometimes you might be surprised at what you can hear. And I'll give you an idea of sometimes what things that you can hear on some of the bands. What software are you running on your computer to display the waterfall, and what is the significance of the different windows? This is HDSDR. It's a software that controls a software-defined receiver in my office. So right now I'm tuning Radio Kuwait on 15540. Basically what all of this information means, very quickly, this is the band of, it's about 600 kilohertz large right now. This is, for example, here I have my tune frequency. 15540 is right here, and it's that big colorful thing going up. It's the signal of Radio Kuwait you see here. All you see here, everything that is a little colored line, is a signal of some sort. It could be interference, but it could be another station. So I can click anywhere there. And right now, what you're seeing is starts at 15250, goes all the way up to 15800. And that means that I'm listening to pretty much this receiver is actually showing me every signal across that 600 kilohertz spectrum there. Here is another way of visualizing the different signals with the little peaks around here. On the bottom left, you've got the frequency ranges. I've got some controls, and like EGC and RF gain, the notch, all sorts of little noise blankers, noise rejection, all sorts of little things. Here on the right side on the bottom is the audio. This is all the audio. So now there's playing music. So you see the little colors are the different frequencies of the audio response, and I have a control over on the bottom here of the how wide I want to have my filter for listening. So right now it's set at about 4 kilohertz. So if I actually make it larger, I hear more audio frequencies. Some strong broadcast with music could be interesting, but also I can put it smaller. Especially if, for example, there are two signals very, very close together. It might be nice to reduce the size of the selectivity so that the station that's next to me or next on the frequency is not interfering. So it's all sorts of, that's the main information you get here. But it's really a radio that's tuned right now in my office that I can listen to and tune around and enter any frequency I want. And HDSDR is a very complex piece of software. There's a lot of things you can do there. It's pretty amazing. What else do we have? Let's just check out here. So nice to have you on board. Hey, John Nicholas Lorenz from Germany. Nice to have you here. What else do we have? MDK2 says IRC chats seem to be on the way out. Yeah, it's. I remember, the first time I had the internet was kind of cool. We got that, but it is something going on the way out. Steve P, hello there. Greetings from New Zealand. Saturday morning here. Wife thinks I should be doing some jobs. This is much better. Keep it up. Shh, will not tell anything. Shh, let's not blabber, and let's not say anything. So really nice to have everybody here. Yeah, it's like here. I've got several windows open where the chat room and everything. It's really nice to see all of that. And you can put many different little windows together. Jeff KD5QDO, hello there. Nice to have you on board as usual. So yeah, that's what I do also. Like Bullfrog says, on the top right of the chat, you can pop it out from the main window. So it's kind of nice because you can pop it in and pop out, and especially if you got multi monitors. You know, you put the chat in one, and you could put my stream in another. It's kind of cool. So it's really nice. So can you talk about whether you use low IF or zero IF in our HDR and why? You know, I haven't really played a lot with that yet, so it's not something I'm prepared to really talk much about. But as I am going to add, and you know, I want to do in the next month or so, we'll have a special shortwave show that will focus on software-defined receivers. I'm learning a little more about the different SDRs around, and we'll have more information and more tweaking because I'm going to play a lot with HDSDR when I get time, and we'll actually talk about it a lot more, and I'll have more details. And there's a lot of things I still don't know much about HDSDR and SDR in general, so I'm still learning. So pretty cool. John Nicholas is trying out his new own built loop antenna. Oh, cool! That's cool. I hope it's working well. I'm on wine today. This time it's good wine. It's a client of mine that once again it's a tech job that I went to. And a client of mine had a bottle of wine, gave me a bottle of wine. So I thought, why not wine today? So cheers, everyone. Nice to have everyone on board. Okay. So the international broadcast bands are divided into several sections. It's something that is already defined and been defined by rules and regulations long time ago. There were new bands added with time because in the 70s, 80s, shortwave bands were crowded. So there's a lot of bands that were added, but you know, as now we have less in international broadcasts. Of course, some of these bands are less used. So let's actually concentrate on a few of the first bands. One that probably nobody knows about because you know it's one of those bands that isn't really used much anymore is the 11 meter band of international broadcasts. So it starts at 25670. So let's punch in 25670 here. So here we go. So this is one of the international broadcast bands. So here I go from 25. Let's put it down at the end here. So 25670 all the way up to 26100. This is an international broadcast band in the very high frequency ranges of shortwave. Now, this used to be one of the bands to tune in from time to time in the 80s and the 70s. But the thing is, the 11 meter band is now almost not used, if not used at all. You know, I'm just going to check here very quickly. If I look at I'm just gonna roll out here the EIBI-space.de frequency lists and see where we are at. So when we go down to the maximum frequencies, apart from some studio to link transmitters, there's really not much happening on this frequency range actually. We used to have stations. I mean, there used to be you know, international broadcast stations there. I remember I have a QSL card from the 80s. Radio RSA in South Africa would use 25790. I remember hearing Radio France International also. No international broadcasters are now using the 11 meter band for several reasons. Of course, with the really very low solar activity right now, it's one of those frequency ranges that isn't propagating very well. Also, you know what? Just look at the amount of radios that are sold with fixed frequency ranges. A lot of them don't have that band in at all. So it's one of those bands that's been pretty much abandoned over time. But there's two things that's still worth checking out here. Okay, well, a couple of things. First of all, in here, there are a lot of studio to link to transmitter links. So very often, if you have a receiver capable of FM mode, and even if you're not capable of FM mode, little trick, if you want to listen to an FM station, a station broadcasting in the FM mode here, if you don't have FM on your receiver, if you tune off by about a kilohertz or two, you will be able to listen and understand what you're saying, even though it's not going to be, as good as an FM transmitter. So around here, I would say, especially from like 25,800 all the way to 26,500, a little out of band, there are many studio transmitter links. So, for example, when propagation is good, one that I hear very often, 25,910, coming from Texas, really coming in very good when propagation is there. And you know what? With sporadic E-skip this summer, take a listen to that frequency range, because it's surprising what you can hear. On that frequency range, you will be amazed at the different little things that appear that you never knew existed. One of them, of course, studio to link to transmitter links. So these are basically small transmitters, very low power transmitters, that often are the audio from the studio sent to a transmitter site farther down, instead of sending it through internet or anything. A lot of them are actually using a small transmitter that's sending that signal to the transmitter site, and they're rebroadcast for the city, for example. So there are many stations that use that in the United States. And to give you an idea, guys an idea, when I look at the list here, okay, just looking at the list here, I can say that there are some of the stations that are doing this. Just to give you an idea, okay, 25870. I haven't heard this one in a while, but WFLA in Tampa Bay, Florida. 25910, KLDE, El Dorado, Texas. That's what I hear very often. 25950. There's KGON in Portland, Oregon. There's KTCL in Denver, Colorado. 25990, KLDE, El Dorado, Texas. 26100, KCCI in Des Moines, Iowa. 26110, KOVR TV. This one is the audio from a TV station in Sacramento, California. 26130, we have WIBC in Indianapolis, Indiana. So gives you an idea. There's are some interesting things that can pop up thanks to this. 26450, WLW in Cincinnati, Ohio. So when propagation conditions are there, right now, really nothing there. This is little interference bits that I have, but I don't see any station right now. So that's why that's pretty much an empty waterfall that you see here. Other things that will appear from time to time, there are some out of band guys, like out of band CBers if you want, that use really high power, that sometimes pop up in that frequency range also. So it's something to try for. Of course, it's a high frequency range with the low solar activity right now. It ain't that much most times, but you got to go and listen, because you will at some point hear something there, and it's always kind of cool. I remember listening to a Rush Limbaugh show from WFLA in Tampa, Florida, a long time, many years ago. Which kind of was it's kind of a cool little thing. So check it out from time to time. In the northern hemisphere, with our summer now approaching, summer solstice, around June 21st, we will have a lot of activity with sporadic E-skip, and that's the best time for these frequencies to come alive. So if you hear sporadic E-skip, if you hear CBers on 27025 channel 6, if I look at it here, 27025. Nothing right now. It's pretty much an empty thing. Oops, 025. So really nothing much here. There was a big signal here, which I guess was...
Ho provato anche EM per un secondo, ma visto che non mi rispondevi ho cambiato.
Wow. Something in FM on 26920. So that's why, I always say...
Parla, ero su USB, faceva 10 minuti che ti parlavo e dicevo non so se perché hai una piccola radio, ma magari sarebbe meglio che prendi quella di media. Ti amo.
Wow. Took Italian. It's Italian.
Scusami, non mi ricordavo, so che mancava qualcosa, ma nella mia testa mancava lo FM e lo AM.
Let's put this squelch here. Kind of interesting. You see, that's why you gotta tune around. When I say tune around.
Ti amo, amo, ti amo. Come è stata la giornata, cucciolo?
One thing that it's for sure, this is local. Because it doesn't have...
Che va bene, perché è radiato?
There's no propagation that gives me anything from far away. So this is very local. And it's on 26...
Ma hai parlato a qualche persone?
26920. It could be some CBs.
No, amore, il problema è che qui oggi è venerdì, quindi avrei questo in testa tutto il weekend e poi lunedì è ferie, quindi sarà martedì. Non è che posso avere una...
This is extremely interesting. Really interesting. Yes, it could be CB radio. There are some CB radios that are in FM mode. So, there's a lot of stuff that you can hear, but this is very, very interesting. I gotta say, I've never heard this. So it's and it's very, very strong. So it has to be really close to me.
Bene, tutto relax, tutto bene, solo a gestire tempo, e tutto il resto tutto bene, ok? È importante questo.
This is so interesting. I am amazed at this. Wow. Kind of cool. 26920. So anyways, channel 6, 27025 is one to check for propagation. And so it's very, very, very nice. Yeah, I did hear her talk about something weekend. I heard her talk about radio, but this is not very far from me. It's something that's close to me. I would think it's some kind of CB radio. Hello there, Dan. Which monitor is it behind you? This is a 50-inch TV. And I'm actually listening to my SDR ephedry software-defined receiver in my office via the wireless network here. It's kind of a very interesting thing. Very interesting. I'm amazed. So it sounds like some kind of, and I only hear one side of the conversation also. Very interesting. So, anyways, to complete a little thing here is so hello everybody, Mick H, hello there, nice to have you on board, everyone. So random clones 15555 USB should be WJHR, and Milton, Florida. It's a US station, religious broadcasting. Randall, usually you hear. Yep, in Salvo. Yep, this is very near me, for sure. So Mick says, if a guy carrying a violin case knocks on your door, don't answer. Okay. So I'm pretty sure it's a CB in my area, like John Ritson says, and it doesn't have propagation characteristics. And I have no sporadic E-skip or no skip right now. It's pretty quiet on the bands. So this is definitely very local to me, and it's so strong that it's maybe very close to me too. So Sportic E-Skip, of course, if you hear stuff there, you know that the frequency range I was talking about is popular. Is probably you'll hear stuff. Now, is it usually something in FM mode in the frequency range? Well, the frequency range that I was talking about, most of these stations with the studio to transmitter links are in FM mode most of the time. But then again, like I said, if you don't have FM on a radio, don't worry. You can actually tune a couple kilohertz off, and usually you will be able to receive the transmission, even though it will be a little distorted. You'll be able to listen to it. So you can still listen even if you don't have an FM. You know, now there's not a lot of receivers that have FM mode in general, except higher end receivers and of course software defined radios. So it's kind of nice. Dave Todd, hello there, says channel 6 is quiet, no skip. Nothing here too, so pretty cool. And this is not in the CB band, by the way, for me. See, channel 1 of CB is 26965, so it's below the CB band. So it's some kind of FM transmitter that's being used here. It's very interesting to hear that. Very unusual, I can tell you. So, Radelva65, hello there, nice to have you on board. And of course, you are watching right now the Shortwave show. Chicken Nug TV, hello there, nice to have you on board. So as we do this Shortwave show every week, today we're talking about international broadcast bands and everything. I would like to remind everybody, sorry for the little remind, but if you guys, I put a lot of effort in doing these shows, so if you, it's always nice to have help, because of AdSense monetization so bad. So of course you can give a PayPal donation to this Yahoo email that you see on your screen, and helps me continue in what I'm doing. So thanks for everybody that have helped me yet. It's really nice to have everybody on board, and you guys are fantastic with donations. So if you like the live shows, if you like what I do, support me if you can. It's always cool to have everyone here. Okay, so we've got some FM transmission here. That's kind of interesting, I gotta say. Really, really interesting to see that. And so that's the first thing. Okay, so we talked about the 11 meter band of international broadcasts. It's a band that's not used a lot, and it is, it is full of surprises. Just look at how surprising things are when you actually get on these frequency ranges. People tend to say, hey, there's never nothing, I never hear anything when I get to some frequency ranges that's up there, and this is a perfect example that it could be very surprising what happens. So it's always cool to tune around and see what can be around the higher frequencies. Yes, of course, homemade beers. It's the only problem of homemade beers is to get them here. So 11 meters, also 25670 to 26100. There's a lot of talk of turning this into a major DRM frequency range, with especially in Europe. I know there's a lot of countries thinking about this, putting DRM stations, some digital Radio Mondiale stations on the air on that frequency range, mostly for local listening. But of course, that also means that when propagation helps, when propagation is there, it could be interesting to see what will be around in the DRM mode. So that's the unusual, international shortwave band, where anything can happen, and things like that will pop up, and you're like, what the hell is that? And it's interesting. I don't hear anyone else. Let's just check it out here. Do I have anything else that pops up? maybe below. So here's that, nothing below. I don't really hear anything below, so I'm wondering, maybe they're on split frequencies, or it's very, very unusual what we have there, for sure. Okay, what else do we have in the international broadcast bands? Okay, the international broadcast bands, the next one is the 13 meter band. 13 meter band starts at 21,450 and goes up to 21,450 to 21,850. And so here it is. I can display it almost fully here. So by doing this, here it goes. So this is pretty much the 13 meter international broadcast band that you see here. Now I've got something here, but which is probably interference. I've got some buzzes everywhere here. So let's put the squelch back to 0. Yeah, this is more of a interference, so there's don't really hear any particular stations right now. So what's in the 13 meter band? 13 meter band is used a lot. 13 meter band is one of those bands that there are some stations. If you look at the EIBI space.de frequencies, you'll notice that the 13 meter band is actually used quite a lot. It's surprising the number of stations there. But the problem is, of course, propagation with the lower solar flux and everything means that the 13 meter band isn't always propagating very well. And it's mostly a daytime band. So, by the way, the 11 meter band is an anytime band because most of what you'll hear very often is via sporadic E-skip. So it could be at any time of day or night, even though that high frequency is a daytime frequency usually. The 13 meter band, mostly a daytime, early evening frequency range. What I've heard recently there, I've received Radio France on 21,580. I did hear I believe it's WHRI on 21,610. I have received Radio Africa via WRMI on 21,675, which that one is a regular, pretty regular one. Although I'm not sure they're using it in the summer season, but it's a band that you know in the daytime and early evening tune around 13 meter band. You might be surprised to hear some international broadcasts there. It's not all the international broadcasters that are using it, so it's of course not used as much as, for example, 16 meter band or 19 meter band and so on. But it is worth checking out. There are quite a few stations. Bobby Burgess says he would like to listen to a DRM station, and actually that's coming up in one of our live shows. I'll try to one of the things I want to do is post a few videos of DRM reception using my ephedry. There are a few transmissions I receive here with a very strong signal on for DRM, so we might be able to do something and post videos about it. Also, one of the things that I want to and maybe try to do a DRM live broadcast if possible. Dave Todd says there was at one time a couple of studio links on 26, that they still use them. I do hear a few of them, Dave. I hear the Texas one, El Dorado, Texas, on 25,910 quite regularly when propagation's there. John Nicholas says no strong DRM signals, and that's the problem with DRM. The signals need to be pretty good in order for them to work. AVA3JPX from Ottawa, James, nice to have you here. Richard says, I haven't heard Spain 21 megahertz, and I'm close. At 21 megahertz, when I look at the frequency range here, what do we have on 21 megahertz? There's a lot of Asian stations. There's a lot of stuff from Radio Free Asia. There's a CNR1 Chinese jammers on many of the frequencies on 13 meter band. France 21580. Voice of America uses 21600 from the Philippines. What else do we have? Voice of America also 21610. WHRI uses 21610. There's Voice of America again on 21630. What do we have here as other stations? Broadcasting of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia from 9 to 1200 on 21667. Radio France also uses 21690. Iran uses 21730. Deutsche Welle is using 21780 from 13 to 14 and 16 to 17. So there are a few stations that are actually using the 13 meter band right now. It's just in order, it's just to listen at the proper time and hopefully, have good propagation, because that's also something that, but you see, Spain doesn't seem to be on 21 megahertz right now. So what are some of the DRM stations we can get now? There's radio, one of the strongest I get here, two of the strongest signals I get for DRM here is Radio Romania on DRM. And also I get Voice of Nigeria quite regularly on 15120, which is apparently one of the easiest to decode because it's setting in the lower bit rate. So Nigeria and Romania here, both of them make a good signal here. Matt in UK, hello there, says, I have listened to Radio Nigeria and France International on DRM with good signals. DD2DR says 21620 Radio Stereo España. Oh, maybe I've missed it. Let me just check it out again. 620 Spain. Oh yeah, it is. I did miss it. Thanks for correcting me. 21620 Spain is there on weekends only. So Saturday and Sunday, Spain is on from 14 to 1800 UT. Saturdays and Sundays. 21620. So you know what? This weekend it's something to try for. I guess could be very, very interesting to check that out. Tor Henning Isaksen, hello there from Norway. Nice to have you on board. I'm located in Montreal, Canada. Antenna that I use is a 22 meter long sloper antenna directed east-west. It's that's pretty much what I have, and it works pretty well. It's a little noisy because I'm in a big city, but works pretty well. And welcome aboard from Norway. Pretty cool. What else do we have here? And when I say something and it's wrong or I missed out something, don't hesitate, guys, to correct me. It's quite all right. We're here for that. And I didn't remember about Spain being on 13 meters. Timothy King, hello there. KC5GNJ, nice to have you here, listening to the broadcast. Nice to have you on board. PLF radio, do you use HDSDR to receive DRM? Actually, you could put HDSDR in DRM mode, but you need to actually add a piece of software to decode DRM. And it's the Dream PC software that you can install. It's free. That is the software that decodes the DRM and gives you the audio of DRM. So you got to use Dream to do that. So I'm soon to have a demonstration of all that working. So really nice. MDK2 says, holy crap, maximum usable frequency in Boulder 40.3 megahertz. Really? Wow. Okay. Maybe some sporadic E going on at this time. I can tell you that. Richard says DRM on 9540 at the moment. Kind of too early here for 9540. I don't think I will hear much. Barely. Not really hearing anything. There's a slight something. I could see the DRM here, but it's not strong enough. That would not be strong enough to give me a decode of any DRM, basically. Because this does look at the DRM. right here. Seems more like on 9535. So pretty cool. So it's only Saturdays, Sundays for Spain. Yep, 21620. Do you need a special radio to hear DRM? Yeah, well, maybe not MDK2. If there is sporadic E-skip happening in that area, it could be possible. Where are you? What are you using? A software or something particular to see what's the MUF over there? Do you need special radio to your DRM? Well, you can do it with a radio and a computer, but a lot of radios you need to tap into because DRM is actually very wide in its frequency use. So most receivers, because of the filters, it's too narrow to actually decode DRM from it. So technically, yeah, having a special radio is better. An SDR is good because you can just choose whatever frequency you want, but any range, how wide you want to be here. So technically, yeah. VA3, I've got wine today. It's actually red wine that a bottle of wine that a tech job that I had this week. I got another bottle of wine. Actually, this one much better than the one that was given to me last time that I turned into sangria. So cheers, everyone. Okay, amqsl.com, something like that. AmSQL or MQSL. MDK2. Ralph Bender says nothing on 9540. Yeah, it's too early here in the East Coast to really have a good signal on 9540s. It's more 9535 from what I can see here. When I look at the waterfall, this is 9535. Much closer. So, well, you recommend discount antenna. Well, I would recommend discount antennas for higher frequency ranges. For the scatter radios, because of the size of these antennas in general. They're better for VHF, UHF. They're not totally deaf on shortwave, but a discount antenna to be effective on shortwave usually needs to be much bigger than the regular size discounts that we have for VHF, UHF in general. So, I would use more a discount for higher frequencies. 3985 is shortwave service transmitter in Germany. Yeah, MQSL, that's what I thought to indicate to. So, Matthew K says, I've got DRM now on 9530.778. So, that's possible. Here, if I go down to 30, that seems low. Mine seems, the DRM I see here seems to be like 9535. Around 9535. That seems more like it. So no problem, Tor. And nice to have you here. By the way, I want to announce also a little something. If you guys like, the listening to amateur radio satellites on VHF, UHF, next week, Friday. Okay, next week, Friday, May the 26th. I will have a special radio broadcast, a special YouTube live show from the VHF UHF channel that I've been using a while. We will be listening live. I'll be listening live to amateur satellites and all sorts of satellites around, going around the Earth in the VHF UHF range. I thought that was fun the first time we did it. Listening to amateur radio satellites and different satellites going through. So next week, Friday special show, VHF, UHF, for amateur radio satellites and general, weather satellites and all that we can tune around, and we'll be receiving live satellites as they're passing over here. So That's next Friday, 4 p.m. special show, and it's on the VHF UHF channel. A lot of you have been asking me about shows also on that channel, and I thought, well, you know what, that could be a very fun one, so we'll try to tune around. And of course, the next Shortwave show will be Saturday, May the 27th at 2000 hours UTC. That show we will talk about the maritime frequency ranges, the aeronautical frequency ranges, and the military frequency ranges. Where can we tune these signals in the shortwave spectrum? So that's going to be the next show. So it's pretty cool, and I think we're going to have a lot of fun with all of that, of course. So, okay. What else do we have here? So let's continue our look at the different international broadcasts bands that actually are on shortwave. So basically, international broadcast that is probably one of them most popular for daytime use in general is the sorry, here I'm just okay. Here we go. 16 meter band. 16 meter band goes from 17,480 to 17,900. So 17,480. Let's put it just here at the back, just like this. And so 17,480 to about 17,900. That's the 16 meter band, and it's one of the interesting broadcast bands. Mostly daytime, a little bit of evening, especially in the summertime. Just want to say hello to Jean Paradis. Nice to have you here. Leslie Boddington. Hello there. Good evening. J4GBC. So Les, nice to have you here, and it's pretty cool. Tor says he's got a 100 kilohertz to 1.7 gigahertz SDR receiver on the way. Needs some tips on a good antenna. You'll need two antennas for that. It typically will probably have two antenna inputs, and if it has only one, you'll need two antennas. You'll need one for the low frequency ranges, below 30 megahertz for shortwave, long wave, and all of that. You'll need another one for the higher frequency ranges, discom, for example, because you will need something that you will need two antennas, two different antennas for that receiver. Very important. A discom could be nice for the upper VHF UHF range. They usually work quite well. So on the 16 meter band, which is mostly a daytime band, what do we have here? Any stations? Let's check it out here. Anything we can hear? Noise. Anything. So we've got 17715.
Caminaréis a través del puente y encontraréis una fuente. Allí está el collar de Florida Alba. ¿De acuerdo? ¡Adiós! ¡Adiós!
So radio exterior de España, 17715. You see here, this is the signal. Much stronger is 17855, radio exterior de España, major signal on 17855. So the 16 meter band is one of those daytime, afternoon, evening bands to listen to. Evening mostly in the summertime. It's one of those bands that does have some activity, not as much as the others, but still a lot of activity and a lot of things to listen to there. It's a daytime band, like I was saying, mostly. and it is slightly dependent on the solar activity. Sometimes when the solar activity is really low, it happens very often that that frequency range of the 17 megahertz range of the international broadcast band has weak signals. But you know what? Lately, look, solar flux has been I don't know. The solar flux is barely at 70 today, or something like that. 17855 from Spain to here in Montreal in North America is very, very strong. So and look, Bobby Burgess saying 17855 strong where it is. So pretty cool, pretty cool. Salvo is receiving 17715. VA3 JPX got 17855, 60 over in Ottawa. So it's very, very strong signals from Spain. Hey, Abundant Fun 444, nice to have you here as usual. It's pretty cool. And no worry about yesterday. We had a very low turnout yesterday. It was amazing. I think it was the lowest turnout from the couch show that I've had in quite a long time. So I gotta say that it was a little surprising to see how low the turnout was for yesterday. But you know, it happens, and you know, as the summertime comes around, also some of the live shows we often have less of much less of activity because people, you know, are doing something else. So so you know, it does happen, and you know, you can't always be here all the time. It's like a lot of people say, "Hey, sorry, I wasn't for your live show." You know, I do understand that most of us have way more things to do in life. I gotta say, so you know, it's just it's totally normal that you know, it's just quieter sometimes when we look at you know, all of that. So the important thing is that, you know, you're there when you can, and that's pretty much what is the easiest thing to know here. So okay, so the 16 meter band, like I was saying, it's very interesting to listen to. It's one of the frequency ranges to check for. And it does have a certain number of international broadcasters. A lot of them actually broadcast on this band at some point in time. So it's very important to check it out. So 17640, very weak. Yeah, I do believe at this time there was a possible station from Madagascar that I've posted a few times, and I'm trying to oh man, from the Madagascar World Voice. I'm trying to remember the name of the station, but they're on 17640 a couple hours a day. I haven't heard them very, very well, I gotta say, in the recent weeks, but it is there from time to time. So you know, it's very nice to have all of that. Hey, Bob Wonderling, hello there. What a great looking station display. What software are you using? Thanks. This is HDSDR, which is controlling my Fedri software defined receiver in my office via my home network. So it's really cool to check it out. Jerry's listening to YV6YV from Venezuela, 18128. Let's check it out. 18128. Upper sideband, anything there? Let's check it out. We got something here a little higher. $18163, I believe. I just heard him say he was in Italy, so there's 18163. There's a station there also on that amateur band. for sure. Hey, Calvin, nice to have you on board, as usual. Jen Nicholas says 18128, very weak. RST111, hello there, and says got in a Fidry after seeing your use yours on your show. Great radio. It's an amazing little radio, and it's really a cool one. Amazing little thing, I can tell you that. So Richard says 19 meter band, not bad here, and it's almost 10 p.m. And while we're talking about the 19 meter band, why not talk about that frequency range also? So 19 meter band is one of the most popular daytime evening bands around. Goes from 15,000, and it's actually 15,100. So let's start at 15,100, and it goes all the way up to 15,800 technically. Now, there's one thing I want to say about international broadcast bands. Even though they have on paper a fixed length, 15,100 to 15,800, there are a lot of stations that are out of the range or the frequency range of that. So that means there are a lot of stations that can be a little below or a little above, and 19 meter band is one of those frequency ranges where there are some stuff often a little below and above. So I'd put the 19 meter band more like 15,050 to 15,900. There are lots of things that are outside of that frequency range. Neil Braden, nice to have you on board from Dublin, Ireland. Pretty cool. So there's a lot of stations that are a little outside, and so don't just take the frequency ranges and think that it's just it's just that. Hey man, Radio DXer, take care. Nice to have you here as all the time as usual. Jen Nicholas says some strange melody on 70-75 upper sideband. Interesting. Oh, that's because you're listening to JT65. I actually can probably reproduce what you're listening to, Jen Nicholas. Let's check it out here. There's not a lot of it right now, but here we go. You probably hear something like this. And that's JT65 digital mode. It's an amateur radio mode, and you can actually tune in and decode that with a piece of software that's a JT65 HF on a PC. So it is JT65. I'm pretty sure what you're hearing on 7075 is what you're hearing. It's 7076 actually. So JT65 is an amateur radio mode. Just to give you guys an idea, if you guys want to see it live, as we're in a shortwave show, why not? So I'm tuning it, and I will actually use the... Okay, it crashed. I don't know why it crashes sometimes. Here we go, here we go. Oh man, I hate it when it crashes. It doesn't crash all the time, but sometimes it does crash. It really wants to crash. Now I want to show something live and it doesn't work. Hate it. I don't know why it crashes. I never had a PC that JT65 crashed, but from time to time it does. So here, this is JT65 HF, and it's a piece of software that decodes JT65. Now I'm just gonna change the screen brightness from my camera so you guys can see a little more. Just change this. I'll actually configure my camera to do automatic brightness, so when I actually have something to show, it's going to do it automatically. There we go. So now you hear the tones. and it's decoding. So you see here, there's a progress going on here. There's decoding of JT65 going on right now. JT65 HF is cool because it decodes multiple signals. So here you see all the little tones of the signals. So it's decoding right now. I like to call JT65 the Twitter of amateur modes. It's really for very short stations, very short messages, sorry. And as you see here, now that it's over, it should actually display something there. So, and if it doesn't, it might be my clock. So we'll try to see, but it should display something. Usually needs to do something. Hope it works. Doesn't seem to right now. We'll let it do another cycle. One of the things about JT65, your clock needs to be perfectly synchronized. If it's not, the decoding doesn't go well, and you're not receiving anything in here. So let's see if it works. I did a few videos a couple of weeks ago. I might need to do it to re-sync my clock here. I'm going to try another pass here, but it's basically sending out mostly, call letters. So they just do little contacts and sending out call letters. So I don't know what it's going to look like. Is it doing anything? It crashed, so I don't know if it's working. It seems to be a little out of phase in what it's doing. So not working right now. We'll try to come back to it later. I'll do it more. So anyways, it's sending out call letters most of the time. So hey, KC Red Dragon, nice to have you here. David in Barcelona, Raptor 22, nice to have you here on board. So HDSDR is the software I'm using, Bob, WB9YWX, HDSDR, to control the software defined receiver. Yeah, never waste when you need it, Matt. Cheers and beers. Hey, Danny, cheers. So anyways, let's go back to our international broadcast bands. And yeah, if there are some, I'll gladly do some decoding of SSTV if at some point there are some. I can tell you. So 19 meter band, like I said, is one of the very important international broadcast bands. So it's one of those broadcast bands that is used mostly daytime, but it is interesting because in the nighttime, especially in the summertime now, for example, late at night I get Radio New Zealand. So in the summertime, it's very interesting what you can hear on 19 meter band. In the winter time, that band usually shuts down quite early in the evening because of the shorter days. There's a lot of stations that use the 19 meter band, so just checking out here, what do we have? We'll check out what stations we can hear. So there's Oman. Oman on 15140 in Arabic right now. Apart from that, what do we have? What do we have in signals? A lot of stuff here. Okay. I don't hear a lot of stuff right now. Anything else? Spain on 15520. So there's Spain on 15520. Let's check it out. 15520.
a cambio de que esto blanqueara alcanzar la cuestión de su función como una multa.
Llevamos 5 años pidiendo que esta solución se imponga, llevamos 5 años pidiendo que respeto.
Hey there, the Vaults. Nice to have you here. Yeah, I do think the SDR Sharp with there's the frequency scanning plugin. It's not the best, but it does what it's supposed to do, but it's not the best. So, SDR Sharp doesn't support RSP anymore. Really? Okay. Richard Cook says can hear 15,000 almost all night in late summer. So, yep, it's one of those interesting frequency ranges, especially in the summertime. I can tell you. So what else do we have? WEWN 15610.
Founder of the Cardinal Newman Society that charts so closely when Catholic University. Of course, is the University of Notre Dame. We go back.
So WEWN, I've got very weak WRMI 15770. Frequenza al Dia, I believe, here on 15825, which is WWCR. You know, I was talking about how some stations are out of band. This is a station that's out of band technically, 15825 WWCR, basically. Daniel Wash, hey there, nice to have you on board. Shortwave listening newbie, great program, thanks. Cool, and it's nice. It's the time to listen to tonight. We're talking about, you know, newbie stuff, the different international broadcast bands, when you should be listening to them. Now we're at 15 megahertz, 19 meter band. Daytime band mostly. Summer, earning, even middle of the night things sometimes. Winter usually shuts down quite early in general. So you know, it's kind of cool to know these things. You know, a lot of people seems to be you know, think that, you know, oh well, the shortwave frequency ranges, you know, it's kind of a little, you know, random thing. Well, it's not really a random thing. There are some rules and some regulations of frequency ranges to listen to, for sure. So nice to have you on board. Yeah, here the hardware is AFEDRI, AFEDRI. Hey, Cosmic Lettuce, nice to have you here watching this live show again. Makes me think of Thomas Dolby, The Golden Age of Wireless, great album. I've never listened to that album. I need to listen to that. Nice to have you on board, Cosmic Lettuce. Hey, Fastload, nice to have you here. So 15825 WWCR in Spanish right now, which I believe is Frecuencia al Dia. So 19 meter band is a frequency range to listen to. It's one of the popular ones. It's one of the very, very used one. Almost all international broadcasters are using the 19 meter band at some point in time. 15390 is it's Radio Stereo de España, Richard. 15390. Yeah. 15390 here is Radio Exterior de España, Richard. So it's probably the same program as 15520. So I will Cosmic Lettuce. I'll check it out. So cool. So you're enjoying your new TRX1 fast load? If we continue with the international broadcast bands, we've got the 22 meter band, which is another very interesting frequency range. So 22 meter band goes from 13,570 goes up to 13,870. Once again, don't count on it being straight dope. This is the frequency range. Oh, that's the album that has She Blinded Me with Science. I love that song, by the way. And I actually heard it today. I was coming back from a tech job this morning, and I had it. I was listening to Blinding Me with Science. Oh, I'm gonna listen to that. Okay, you gave me an album to listen to that I need to. So so basically pretty. Casey Red Dragon. I don't. This Fedry stops at 30 megahertz. It doesn't tune above 30 megahertz. This is a shortwave only set. So I'll be checking that album out. You really piqued my curiosity here, Cosmic Lettuce. I will absolutely listen to that. So the 22 meter band is one of those frequency bands that actually appeared at some point in the 80s. It was not part of the original shortwave lineup of international broadcast bands. And by the way, I just jumped over one also that I've just seen, but it's almost unused. So, but we'll go back to it a little later. 13,570, 13,870. It is an interesting band because it usually is almost 24 hours. Even in the wintertime, there's often something that you can hear on that band. And lately, for example, I've been hearing a lot of Chinese stations coming in on that frequency range. It's an interesting one to listen to. If we look at, for example, on 13,810, there's a signal here, which is Radio Romania in Spanish.
El proyecto es criticado por una parte de la sociedad civil. Uno de los argumentos es que la definición propuesta ya figura en el código civil, a que podrían aparecer situaciones complicadas en las cuales, por ejemplo, un hombre que se sometió a una operación de reasignación de sexo regresaría a Rumanía para formalizar su relación con un hombre.
Well, this is Radio Romania in Spanish. I just received a email that my account in my bank is hacked. Do you think I should click the link? Hey, Richard in Atlanta, nice to have you on board. Let's try it out. 13,270 for the weather stations, the vomits. Nothing heard right now here. So 13,570, 13,870 is great frequency range to listen to. Go a little below. I would say go from 13,500 to 14,000 because it is a much. It has out of band stations. Some interesting stuff to listen to. A lot of major international broadcasters use it. As you see here, Radio Romania was using it. There's WWCR on 13,845 with some music at the moment. Any other stations coming through right now? Radio Havana, Cuba, 13,740 right now. What else do we have? Anything else? Nothing much more. There's Radio Marti that uses 13,605 a lot. And when propagation is good on 13,580, I often get Bangladesh, which is coming in the early afternoon. Yeah, 13,560. I've got 560. I've got some local interference, I believe. No, it does sound like data. You're right. No, local noise here. I would say. It's a pretty much 24-hour band for those that wonder if, what time of day or night, or, try it all the time, because I think you will have it. You will hear a lot of stuff appear from time to time on the frequency range. So Or, Radio Romania, Klaus says Radio Romania is a needle bender. It's always very strong here in Germany, but it does give a really, really good signal in general. Bubba Seattle, I'm actually using my 22 meter long sloper antenna in my backyard right now. 22 meter long, about 75 feet or something. 75, 80 feet. And its orientation is east-west. So and it's okay, it's a little noisy, but it's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing, I gotta say. Radio New Zealand, MDK2 says Radio New Zealand International is very solid. Has been very solid since they made the 13840 their frequency from 2051 to 0458. So it could be in right now, but I've not received it on 13840 really. Actually, I'm hearing it. It's not very strong, but I'm hearing New Zealand. It's very weak, but I am definitely hearing New Zealand on 13840 right now. I do hear it. It's not very strong, but it's there. Kind of cool. Yeah. Radio New Zealand making it. I'm gonna try it as time goes by. From time to time, I'll go back to 13840 to see if I can actually have a better signal a little later on. Very interesting. Very interesting. Abundant Fun says no problem. Take care. It's quite all right. What else do we have here? Bobby Burgess has 13845. MDK2 sorry, you're not getting RNZI 138 right now. Nice signal despite QRM from WWCR 845. And here on the East Coast, 13840 is not making it very, very strong over here, but it's there. It's there a little bit. No beer. This is a wine, a client of mine actually that I had did a take job this week. Gave me a bottle of wine. It's actually good wine. So I thought, why not? Let's be a little more fancy today and have wine. Hey there, Kimberly, K6YY Hell. Nice to have you on board from California. Pretty cool. Jerry says EA5GI from Spain. Strong on 14315. Straight out. 14315. Upper sideband.
GCCA5, Germany, India. Tequila 20. Kilo 4? Tango November Kilo, you have your 9. Okay, David, you're from Georgia, Kilo 4, Tango Nancy, November Kilo, you 5 GI. Thank you, bye-bye, 73. Bravo, Hotel Papa, go.
So Spain on 14315 upper sideband. Jerry's got 13840 S9 Plus. Wow, really strong. Matt in UK got 13840 also. Wow, nice. Bubba Seattle, it's just that there's the Digital Addiction servers are hosting a SWLING, shortwave listing IRC chat room. And but what's happening is I haven't gone there much lately because when I do live shows now, it's pretty much all happening here on the chat room from YouTube now. So pretty much everybody's coming here now. But we used to be a great gang there, but now it seems to be very, very quiet there. SG1 East Nebraska, our SP2 and Wellbrook. 53 Fahrenheit going to rain again soon. So kind of cool and rainy. Nice to have you on board. Yeah, fancy pantsy fast. Love that. Royal Howard, nice to have you here. Sorry late, using Texan PL 880 and 660 tonight. Nice receivers. I'd like to try that 880 by myself. It really looks nice. Jerry says super strong for Radio New Zealand. So pretty cool. Wow, I'll try it again. I rarely hear it really So propagation might be better. I'll tune regularly for Radio New Zealand. So what else do we have? Yeah, there's nothing really on the HF bands for amateur satellites. There's one that apparently is broadcasting on 14099, so a beacon or something, but that never heard. Take care, Cosmic Lettuce. Nice to have you on board as usual. Pretty cool. So what else do we have here? Take care, Cool AM. Nice to have you on board as usual also. Pretty cool. So yeah, Great Lakes surely help. You know what? Sometimes I've even been wondering if just a small body of water helps. When I go to Perry Island, I'm not just blessed with very low noise, but I'm always amazed at some signals seem to be much stronger than right here, smack in the middle of the city. I'm wondering if there's an effect from maybe the body of water there. It's very amazing. So some beers at Zoe's after the show. Not sure. Well, I'll think about it. Fast Loud. I'll think about it. Jean-Nicolas says UVB76, the buzzer, 4625 upper sideband coming in right now. Pretty cool. So nice. Hey, Ralph Philly Jr. Nice to have senior. Sorry, nice to have you on board. So really, you're starting to get some e-skip, Jerry. Cool. Pretty cool. John Nicholas says the PIP 3756 strong. Cool. Even Richard Cook receiving that. I'm just gonna check channel 6 of CB. See if there's some sporadic e-skip. Don't seem to have anything right now. That FM transmission seems to be gone now. Earlier, and nice to have you here. Hey, Leo Sav, nice to have you here. It's pretty cool to have you here, and always nice to have everyone on board. Paul Nardelli saying playing with his DX394 and a port antenna here in New York City, picking up signals on most of what you are. Cool. At least it's not too bad. It's a good enough setup. So really nice. Bubba Seattle says, really enjoying the show. You definitely are in cover of the great white north. Hey, Richard Tribble, nice to have you on board. And by the way, you know what, Richard? After I started listening to the audio of what you sent me, I realized that somewhere in one of my boxes, I do have the CD of these interval signals, because I had purchased these a while back, but it's nice that you send me, because I can't find them. There must be somewhere. Someday I'll just get on them, but I can tell you it's just funny, because I started listening and I said, oh, I got those. I got the CDs. So I already had purchased them. So basically, it's cool because I already had purchased them. Oh, there's something on CB bands here. What's here? 2707 to 75 is channel 10, and that's the channel for mobile. Usually mobile CBers. So what else do we have here? 18365, and picking up anything 18365. Here we go. I've got local. Yeah, there is kind of a white noise. There's a signal there. I have some local interference, but there's kind of some white noise broadcast there. 18365. That's pretty much what I hear. So pretty cool. So really nice. Mix says I tried to find those interval signal CDs, but no luck. Yeah, I have them. I had purchased them. I immediately when I started listening, I was like, oh, I've got those. I had purchased those a while back. Hey, you're watching the Shortwave radio show coming to you from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. We're already an hour and a half into the show. I will go and get myself more wine. And while I am getting myself more wine, I am going to just show you guys my PayPal donation link. If you guys can help me out, really much appreciated. It's something that helps me a lot, and you have no idea with the crappy AdSense monetization lately. That's what keeps me going on. So thank you for everybody that donated. I'm trying to reach out tonight to those that have never donated and that feel like you like what I do. You're here all the time, and if you can give a little something, very, very welcome. So I'm back in a second. I am going to get more wine, and Paul the cat is sleeping in the chair right now. He's been having fun with another cat in the past 2 days. And here we are back to the Shortwave Radio Show. Hello, everybody. Nice to have you on board as usual. And we are tonight talking about the different international broadcast bands and the amateur bands that we'll go through also, if we have time. And of course, it's one of those really, really cool information that a lot of newbies don't have, and it's kind of cool. So Daniel Walsh, you know what, it's a great idea, ultralight DXing. I've got many ultralights here, so we did one a little while ago. But we'll get back into there and talk about ultralight DXing. It's there's a part of a group that do that. Ultralight DXing is using specific, very, very, usually small receivers, very basic receivers, not very expensive, of small size, and pushing them to the limit basically. In really, listening to the shortwave bands. So it's really something that is cool. And in the next few shows, we'll do something about ultralight DXing. I think it's something interesting, and there's a lot of people that actually, there's even a Yahoo group for ultralight DXing that I follow, and on the shortwave listening. .com website, there's also a nice article on ultralights, and there was also a nice article in the a few months ago in the Spectrum Monitor about ultralight DXing. This is very, very nice. So what else do we have? Richard Cook's receiving 5450 Royal Air Force and 5505 Channel Vomits. Jerry is receiving, says, not very active yesterday on 14300. Yeah, the Maritime Net. I hear it all. I hear it quite regularly. Don't worry about it, Bullfrog 89. I'm got no problem with that. Not everybody can donate, and it's quite all right. Don't worry about it. Hope you get well soon. That's the most important thing. Health is the most important thing, for sure. Leslie Bollington says, really enjoyed your show. Thank you. Cool. Take care, G4JDC from UK. Nice to have you on board. Ivaldo Lemes, hello there from Brazil. PY4001 SWL. Nice call letters for shortwave listener. Klaus is receiving 5730 USB number station. Oh, interesting. It must be E06, yeah. It's a number station from Russia, I believe. So okay, let's now go to a very, very used international broadcast band, one of my favorites personally, and it's a 25 meter band. It's technically from 11,600 to 12,100. It's wider than that. You know, start your listening at 11,500 and go up to 12,200. So it gives you an idea. So let's put 11,500 at the bottom here, so we can see from 11,500 all the way to 12,050 here. So 25 meter band. It's one of those exceptional, kind of a 24-hour band of international broadcasters. It's one of those bands that is very nice to tune around sunset, sunrise times. It's one of those frequency ranges where you'll have signals 24 hours a day at pretty much any location. And it is one of those bands that pretty much almost any every international shortwave broadcaster is using right now, because it's a very good frequency range to reach almost every part of the world that you want to. So let's see what we have right now on these frequency range. So first signal that I see, WRMI on 11,580, which might be at this time Blues Radio International. So 11,580. This is WRMI. There's a lot of people, Bobby, in Europe in the chat. It's I think it was Fastload. Fastload at some point was wondering why I always did the show, early at 4 p.m. because he would miss part of it because of his work. And I was telling him, well, I've got a pretty big European audience, and so I do it early because I want the European audience to be there. It's something that that I think about when I choose what time I'm going to do my live broadcast on YouTube. I have to. So okay. Blues Radio International 11,580. And by the way, if you like blues, it's one of the great shows of blues music that you can listen to on Shortwave. Really a really cool station broadcast to listen to. And WRMI, 11,580 is that frequency that if you don't know what to listen to, go to 11,580. Surprising what you can hear via WRMI with all the different relays of stations. PD0 PMS, hello there, welcome aboard from the Netherlands. Nice to have you on board as usual. Okay, let's check out what else do we have here on the waterfall. There's something there, but it's interference. Let's check out anything else we have. Weak station on 11,610. And if I look at what's on 11,610 at this time, it would seem to be KNLS New Life, Light of Life station from Madagascar. So in Mandarin. Then we have, let's check it out. There's a radio teletype around 11,687 upper sideband. Oh, what's that big chunk of noise there? Oh, this is interesting. I hear that all the time. Wonder what that is. Okay, we've got 11775 is the Caribbean beacon out of the island of Anguilla. This one is very distorted. They're having some major problems with their transmitters lately. 11775 and 6090 have been very. Richard Intanta says your Cuban number's girlfriend is on 11635. This my girlfriend's there. Oh yeah, it's there. I missed it. 11635 is Cuban. It's not very strong, but it's there. 11635. And oh, by the way, for those that were asking, because I did see, I did get a few comments on that. So the Soft 66 SDR is on his way to our lucky winner, Susan. So she should be getting that in the next couple of weeks. So it's pretty cool. And you know, we'll try to do some regular contests from time to time. You could PLF to hear 11635 in Europe. I guess that frequency could make it up to Europe, basically. I mean, all the time. It's not very strong right now, but it's there. So, you know, 11660 French. I think that's China Radio International, Richard. What else do we have? Let me just go here. Heaven Tini, hello there. It's from Tyler, Texas. Nice to have you on board. Very cool. And take care, Danny, Shortwave Radio DX. Nice to have you on board. And take care. What else do we have here? Can you tell me what it is when you get a chance? Transmits every 4948. I don't know if I hear it right now. 4948. Oh, yeah, okay, I get it. I'm hearing it. Look, it's transmitting and then it's transmitting next to it. So it's a double signal. There and here. That's some kind of digital mode, but I don't know. It's some kind of digital mode broadcast, but what it is exactly, I have no idea right now. But it is really a digital mode that's broadcast there, and it has two signals, as you see here. An ephedry giveaway, Jerry. I don't think I want to give away my ephedry. What do you mean, Tor? For Taken TV? With the ephedry, it's really a shortwave only rig. It's not a VHF. Doesn't have VHF or anything. So yeah, it's a double. I can see that it's a digital mode. That's the fun of an SDR, because if I go on 4948. You know, let's just put it a little wider here so you guys can see it well. So when you go there, if it ever comes back, they had a signal on 4948, and there was another one close by on a higher frequency. They would actually match. So here's one. So there's one here, 4950, around 4950. So this one, you know, it's different from earlier. Earlier they were answering each other. Now it's just a burst of data going on. There we go, burst of data again. And look at the structure. Oh, look at that. Look at the structure here. That's the cool thing of an SDR, seeing all the structure of what the signal looks like. Look at that. That's kind of interesting. So it broadcasts in a very wide frequency range. It actually takes more than 10 kilohertz from one side to the other. Very interesting. And it's kind of a data burst. Very, very interesting to see that. We've been seeing some cool things today. FM woman in the below the CB band. It's some kind of a digital mode, but I don't know exactly what it is, unfortunately. So. 11820 is the Holy Quran from Saudi Arabia. 11820. I can't even put the audio because every time the Holy Quran is there, it removes the monetization from my channel. So it's kind of weird. And yeah, 11635. There's two things happening there. You have the Cuban lady, but she also has some kind of a digital thing with tones. So maybe you're hearing the tones right now, Klaus. That's what I. Oh, don't be sorry, Casey Red Dragon. You know what? It's always exciting to hear some weird things on shortwave. I'm exactly the same. Every time there's something weird and unusual, it's like, you know, I jump up and down. Look at earlier when we were receiving that woman talking on FM mode below the CB band. I was like, wow, kind of exciting. You know, I get excited when there's something, you know, happening. So it is possible. Royal Horse is 13670, Voice of America in Bambara language. No, I would say it's not a beacon. I would say there must be some digital stuff in there. You know, there's a lot of digital modes of different organizations and governments on shortwave. So, you know, it's possible that it's that it's there. Radio I use here is an AFEDRI, AFEDRI. It's a software-defined receiver, and it is from 100 kilohertz in the long wave band all the way up to 30 megahertz in the shortwave spectrum, and which is a donation from a viewer, which is very, very nice. Once again, Greg Wasik, I can't thank you enough for this beautiful gift. Really, really nice. John Risson says Jerry DX, he loves the AFEDRI far too much to part with the system. Yeah, I can't part from that. I'll part from a lot of things before I part from my AFEDRI, I can tell you that. Man. Yeah, it's like the, you know, I don't know if we can hear it right now, but 4500, the Kodar. I'm trying to see if we can hear it right now. It's a little early, but I'm not hearing the Kodar, but off from 13500. It's very rare. Usually I hear Kodars regularly. If you hear the chirp, chirp, chirp of Kodar around 4500 kilohertz there, these are ocean wave radar. They are radar scattered all across the eastern seaboard, and basically they are checking the waves, the wave heights. So take care, Bullfrog. It was nice to have you on board. Yeah, Mick, Radio Havana Cuba actually has a mix of digital and voice numbers in their broadcast. It's very unusual for a number station. Kevin Y, hello there. Got WWVH Thursday night, and it was overlapping. You know, WWVH sometimes is funny because it sometimes is very strong. It happened to me several times that I've heard WWVH actually stronger than WWV, and WWV just in the background barely. It's amazing. Well, right now, Bobby, Fastload has the GP5. He's testing it. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe if it comes back, maybe if he doesn't want it at some point, maybe we can have a GP5 raffle. But I will not force him. If he enjoys the receiver, PLF radio. CODAR is a radar, but it's made for measuring the height of the ocean waves. And it's a chirp every about once a second. Sometimes it's a little faster, sometimes a little weaker. I had no example to give here, but it's a chirp that goes on about once a second. You can hear them around 45 to 4600 kilohertz, around 4800 kilohertz. It even sometimes interferes with WWCR on 4840. And also 13500, around 13500 or 13550, you can hear CODAR usually. So it's like a chirp sound every second or so. This is, there's like tons of little transmitters all across the eastern seaboard in North America. And they are measuring the ocean wave height, basically. So that's how it's working. So here we got, Klaus says, Coastal Ocean Dynamics Applications Radar. And here we go. So it's pretty cool. What else do we have here? Yes, there's a digital, you're right, like David says, there is a digital number station, which is also XPA2 or something, which is like polytone stuff. So, yep. Hey, Ghost World, nice to have you here. No problem. We're still alive. We're still here. So, nice to have you on board. Angus Foot, nice to have you here. 13810 is Radio Romania in Spanish. WA4 AOS, hello there from South Carolina, Glenn. Nice to have you here, as usual. Really cool, really cool. Near Greenville, South Carolina. Really nice. Really nice. What else do we have? I can never get DG TRX to work at all. DG FLDG, Bobby, what exactly are you talking about? Richard's receiving the CODAR on 4500. I'll try it again to see here. I'm actually not receiving it at all right now, but eventually I'll hear it. And all evening, it's dominant in that frequency range. It's really dominant. So you know. Don't worry, Mick. We'll wait for you for the beer. So yeah, it is CODAR. Oh, okay. You mean the HM01 with that? Oh yeah, okay. I got it now, Bobby. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it works or not. I've never tried it actually. So FLDG setup on Linux. I need to set that up on Linux, by the way. I've got a Linux machine, and the other day I was thinking about setting it up on Linux so I can also post a video to help any Linux user to set it up so it works. I think there's enough Linux users, I believe, to warrant a video of how to install some of these software. I want to also do a video for any to install SDR, like the ephedry on Linux also, because I think there's enough people to warrant such videos. I've got two distros of Linux PLF radio right now on two different PCs. One is running Linux Mint, and the other one is actually a experimental machine where I try all sorts of weird stuff. Right now it's running Entergos Linux, which doesn't really work well because it's always dropping on Wi-Fi and seems to have weird issues. But Linux Mint is a nice one. And one of my favorites. I would say Linux Mint is one of my favorites, basically. So, Misery's Fence, hey there, all you have is bourbon. That's okay. That's okay. What else do we have? S6 to S7. Wow, Richard, that's interesting. I don't even hear it here. Kind of interesting. Pretty interesting for sure. Don't have any beer left, but I have some Patron XO coffee tequila. That's all right. That's all right. Why not? It's almost become the Shortwave drunken show. Well, I was listening to Shortwave, and that's how I started drinking, because of this guy in Canada that was drinking all the time, and he seemed to have fun. So I decided, hey, I'm gonna start drinking. So, oh God. If you get Skywave Linux, it is ready to go for radio. Oh, I didn't know about that, Bobby. Skywave Linux is ready to go for radio comms. Oh, I'm gonna check that out. Thanks for the note. I need to take that down. Skywave Linux. Oh, that is interesting. I didn't know there was a distro for radio communications. Thanks for letting me know. Skywave Linux. Yeah, look at that. Loaded with software-defined radio applications. Oh, this is cool. I will download that after the show tonight and install that. I need to try that out. Thank you so much, Bobby, for that info. I didn't know at all about that. God. So, well, I can do one thing. Tor, is it coming? It's coming my way in Montreal, because that's the thing here. It has to come my way. I'm gonna take my scanner radio or my Icon. I'm gonna take my R20 and I'll tune it to 1379125. And we'll see if we hear it as it passes by on the receiver. So I'm using the Icon ICR20 here for that. So here we go. I'm just going to change the step. Tuning step. I'm going to change it back to, it's 5. There we go. So 137.9125 tuned for the satellite. We'll see if we can hear it or not as it comes by. Nice to have everybody here. Jane Dagger, nice to have you here. It's nice to see you again. Got Creative Sound Card PCI Express. It's got quite nice, but only on desktop, which I'm using for other things. Now, I haven't heard I haven't used a Creative or a Sound Blaster sound card in such a long time. Just amazing. What else do we have here? Guinness, that's cool. Richard's starting on his beer, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. 2 glasses of sangria during the show. Wow, that's pretty good. Paul Nardelli. That's pretty good. Brugal rum. That's also not bad. I'm not much of a rum fan, I gotta say. But you know what? I did have a spiced rum that a friend got back from Cuba. And you know what? I'm not a fan of rum, but the spiced rum that he brought back was just amazingly good. I gotta say, it was really, really amazing. So, 25 meter band we were talking about. Let's check out if there's anything left in the 25-meter band. Check it out here. Something is weird. It's slowed down. Let me just go speed up a little bit. Okay. Look at that, guys. I've got somebody just started some machinery or something. Look at the noise that just appeared on my SDR, and it sounds like electrical noise. Really sounds like some electrical noise, like somebody just started a motor or something. Wow, amazing. No, actually, it's on 139, 130. If you're talking about I was talking about, 137.9125 is the NOAA weather. It's not upper sideband. It's actually an FM mode. Wow, look at that noise. It's just incredible. It's preventing me from listening to anything. Just the noise is overpowering everything. Wow. Yeah, definitely something running right now. Somebody just started a motor with some kind of device or something, I can tell you that. Kevin White, this is the AFEDRI AFEDRI SDR. So, yes, Bobby, it will hurt your dual boot. Windows will tend to destroy the booting process that Linux needs to use to boot, because the thing is that for a Linux dual boot, it's usually Linux that fixes the boot sector so that it actually can dual boot with all of that. Windows 10 tends to destroy every time you have a big update. Windows 10 tends to destroy the dual booting when you're using Linux, which is really sad. Number station 10715. Yeah, that's Cuba usually. Is it on now? Well, I just can't listen right now. Somebody's having some kind of machinery work, and I've got. Oh, it's back. Wow, thank God.
الله عنه.
11915 is also Saudi Arabia from what I see. Wow, noise got down. I don't know what that person was doing, but boy, man, that's amazing. Yeah, Saudi Arabia, Richard, on 11820, that's what it is. Yeah, that's the thing, Ghost World. You gotta install Linux after you install Windows because it installs its own boot process, and that's why when you if you get the Fall Creators update in September, it's gonna fuck up the boot process with Linux. That's the sad thing about it. So that's really the sad thing about it. So there we go. We're back to the normal listening. Royal Orward says Shortwave West Coast Pale Ale has been referred to as the perfect tuning oil. I will not rest until I get some. Well, you know, I want to have some Shortwave beer, I can tell you that. Richard's receiving Pyongyang 11680. So what else do we have here? Radio Marti with some jamming from Cuba on 11930. Actually, the Cuban jamming is almost as strong. Normally, KC Red Dragon is a slow scan TV. One of the best frequencies for slow scan TV is the amateur band is around 14230 upper sideband. Usually, when you leave it there for a while, it actually you'll end up listening to some amateur stations sending out pictures. If I look right now, 14230. Nothing happening right now. 20 meter band seems to be active with lots of stations right now. Let's just check out a few of them.
India, kilómetro 2, Inmerso, Monú, Santiago. Solidity. November Oscar 5 of Florida. Hello. Este es America 3 Nancy Germany. Erin 5 and then goes out. Just open the contact in my log for you. Very good the contact. Nancy 05 Nancy 05 Foxtrot 93 Nancy Germany. Roger. Nancy Oscar 5 Foxtrot 73, the contact in my log, the last to 1 quarter, 73 Harry. Secure 20 metal. It's Echo, America 3, November, Germany. Echo Alpha 3, Nancy, Germany, and
Echo Alpha 3, Nancy, Germany, with a great signal from Spain on 14195 upper sideband. Really nice. So what else do we have in the 25 meter band? Before we continue, let's at least do the international broadcast bands. This is WEWN in Spanish, 12050. And we've got, sorry. Too much over. So remember guys, 25 meter band, 11500 to 12200 pretty much. Just, put it wider. One of the great international broadcast bands, pretty much 24 hours a day. And it's a great place to listen to. And you'd be surprised at what you can hear, especially in the sunset, sunrise time period. Okay, next international broadcast band is a 31 meter band. Very popular with international broadcasters. And it is one of the the main, almost every international broadcaster is receiving that, is using that frequency range. So 31 meters is officially from 9400 to 9900. Don't believe it. Start at 9200 and go all the way up to 10,000 kilohertz. 31 meter band is a mixed band. It is a band that's used in the mostly in the late afternoons, evenings, early evenings. It has some of the 24-hour thing a little bit, but not as much. And the daytime it tends to be weaker in the signals that you get. In the winter time, it's actually very surprising what you will get in the winter time. You'll actually receive in the winter time stations from far away, even in mid-afternoon. In the summertime, it tends to be a little more focused late afternoon, evening, nighttime, and it also depends a little bit on what the conditions of the solar, the solar activity conditions. It's used at it's used a lot. Okay, I can tell you that. Like I said, almost every international broadcasters are actually using it. So what do we have? We got a stations on 9350 kilohertz. By the way, for those talking about stream problems here, I can tell you guys just one thing is that the upstream I get is perfect, so shouldn't be a problem. So it could be a problem with YouTube because pretty much everything is okay here. So and if you got stream problems, just refresh. Even sometimes better, just shut down the browser, restart the browser, come back into stream. Often refreshes and is okay in general. Most of the time, just a refresh makes it okay. Take care, Klaus. It was nice to have you on board. 73s, DD2, DR. Always nice to have you on board. So pretty cool. And we're having a nice viewership tonight also. Reached 80 something, which is at some point I think we're 84. Pretty good for a Friday. Usually is a little less. A little less. So I'm sending a lot of data. You got to remember that. So hey, Ghost World, seasons affect the band a lot. Now, not necessarily that much if you're at the equator, but a lot of people, if you are, for most of us, like I'm in Canada, you guys in Europe, winter, summer affects the bands a lot. They do make a big difference in the propagation of signals from band to band. So for an example that I got to give is if you are on the summertime, some of the higher frequencies actually tend to propagate even later in the evening. If you're in the winter time, some of the lower frequencies that usually have nothing in the summertime will have things to listen to in the daytime. A great example is the 41 meter band, 7 megahertz, where I could listen, and this winter I could listen to the BBC from Ascension Islands at 3 p.m., 2 p.m. in the afternoon on 7445, which would be impossible in the summertime, for example. So it really is something interesting for that. It does tend to have some very interesting issues. Summer versus winter is something very, very interesting when you think about it. And it tends to really make a big difference on many shortwave bands. Like some bands are, it's interesting, it seems that a lot of you that are freezing are in the US and Europe, sorry. Interesting. All I know is everything's fine here. So I guess I'm sorry, but there must be something going on maybe on the YouTube live stream or something. And I'm looking at the count because usually when there's problems, there's major issues, I see the count drop really fast. So kind of interesting. So yeah, everybody in Europe seems to have some issues. Kind of interesting. So there are a lot of differences between. You're in the US, right, Casey? Okay. Maybe there's some issues with YouTube. Here, my upstream is nice, and I can see the number. I can see the megabits. Oh, that's interesting. So you're getting freezing too? Huh, that's interesting. It's very interesting. I'll try something here. I'll stop the stream and restart it. So, well, that's interesting. Ralph says it's okay there. Kind of interesting. And so I've stopped and restarted the stream, so you guys will see if it made any difference in the upstream. And hey, we've got a little friend here. Our little cat friend, Paul the cat, or DX the cat, depending on who you, where you are, is saying hello to everybody. So nice to have him here. So anyways, yes, summer and winter, there's major differences in the international shortwave bands. And so that is something that is important to know. And so, you know, there are some DX stuff. I just stopped and started I stopped the stream for 5 seconds, started the stream again. So it might have fixed. Sometimes it happens that I just stop it and start it, as if the buffering, there's something wrong with the buffering or whatever on YouTube. I don't know. It's kind of weird sometimes, YouTube Live. So yeah, there's things you'll listen to. You know, an example of that is Radio New Zealand. You know, I listen to Radio New Zealand on 15720 here you go. Okay, here's a cat. So to Radio New Zealand on 15720 very often in the summertime, because it propagates well in the summertime, late in the day, but it is something that I can't hear in the wintertime. It all depends because of the changes with the with you know, the solar angle and everything. It changes the properties of the ionosphere, basically. Hey, Parrot Sailor, nice to have you here, and it is nice to have you on board. And the kitty is Paul the cat. So 9830 is of course Voice of Turkey. 9830. Let's check it out here.
Take victory on play, and Pioneer has talked about the record of 40 career titles in Masters 1000 events. Now, Nadal has satisfied on Roland Garros tournament. The fifth leg of Formula One World Championship took place in Spain, the 4,675-meter race.
So Voice of Turkey, 9830 kilohertz. Yes, MDK2. VHF UHF show, the satellite listening show next week will be on the VHF UHF channel. So check it out. That's where it'll be next Friday. Once again, for those that weren't there earlier, next Friday, 2000 hours UT, we are tuning live satellites on the VHF UHF spectrum. We'll be listening to weather satellites, all sorts of different little satellites that transmit on VHF UHF. Will be also tuning around amateur radio satellites. So that's next week. Next week at 2000 hours UTC, Friday, VHF UHF channel. And of course, Saturday, May 27th, we have another shortwave show. So hope you can join in. And it's always fun to have everybody on board. So, okay, what else do we have? So, 31 meter band, one of those very important international broadcast bands. Lots of stuff to listen to. For example, Voice of Turkey is here. KC Red Dragon, I'll just give you a little something here. It's, yes, the cat made himself very comfortable right now. I'm the one uncomfortable right now. Oh, God. Yep, youtube.com/official. It's coming here. VHF UHF channel. This is where it's going to be next week. Official VHF UHF channel. And it's where we'll be streaming the satellite stuff next week. So official VHF UHF channel. and so you can join me there. I haven't been doing a lot of videos on the VHF UHF side lately. I'm hoping to do a little more, and that's why I was thinking about that also. I know we had a lot of fun last time that we did the live tuning around of satellites on VHF UHF. I thought it was kind of cool, so I thought, well, let's do it again. So thanks NDK2 for posting the link and to let everybody know where. So yes, it's a very nice cat. He's actually made a friend. There's this black and white cat in the backyard, and I've noticed that they've been like hanging around together and going at different places together, always following each other. It's kind of funny. And this morning he spent like 4 hours outside playing and going around with that cat. And then when he's hungry, he comes back. Cool, Mick. And so next week at 4 p.m. Eastern, 2000 UT, we'll be tuning around the VHF UHF range. So no problem with that. Yeah, 9555 is Angus Foot is I believe Saudi Arabia. Let's try it out. 9555 is usually Saudi Arabia. Yeah. So 9555. Hey, William Helms, nice to have you on board. As usual. Nice to have you here. And it's nice to have everybody here. Once again, for the last time, if anybody wants to donate, we are, of course, doing a lot of, working hard to bring these live shows and, doing extra live shows and everything. Time I devote to this is time I'm not devoting to tech jobs and stuff like that. I'm trying to make a living off of YouTube. Wow, I got some cat hair everywhere. If you can help out, always nice. PayPal donation at the Yahoo email here. You don't have to have a credit card with PayPal. You can just link it to your bank account. It works fantastic. Any amount helps. Sometimes people say, well, I'm shy, I just gave you $1 or $2. It's like, who cares? The important thing is not the amount. The important thing is, if everybody would be donating just a little something, you know what? It would be a good amount at the end, and it has a very small impact. So if you can help out, really helps me out. I gotta tell you guys, YouTube's AdSense has been so crappy lately that really helps me in continuing, and it gives me I love what I do, but you got to pay the bills and got to do a lot of things, so it's kind of something that you need a little bit of help. So thanks for everyone donated. Once again, calling out a little bit for those that have been following me for a long time, never donate a penny. Why not think about it? And I understand that not everybody can you donate, and that's quite all right also. But it helps out, and it's always nice to have this. So and thanks for everybody who donated. You guys have been great. So take care, MDK2. See you next week. Bye, Paul. And always nice to have you on board. What else do we have? So people are watching satellites right now. The NOAA 15, NOAA 18 satellites. I believe is NOAA 15 still operating? I think it's not. I haven't looked at these satellites in a while, so I need to brush up. I know there's new amateur satellites also. I really need to brush up on my satellites. Mick, yeah, I will be taking the month of July off from live shows. So I will be taking about 4 weeks off, and we'll be back in August. with the regular live shows. I might take, last year I took, I think it was 6 weeks off. This year I will take less. I'll take 4 weeks, and probably be back early August instead of mid or a little late in August like last year. People miss. It's funny because a lot of people always tell me, you know what, when you go in those little vacation and take that time off, really miss your shows. But I think for my also for my I would say for my mental health, taking a break of live shows is something that's useful. You guys, you don't see that, but doing the live shows like this and the Windows channel that I have, I got right now a total of 5 live shows per week. It really takes a lot of time to prepare and to do. So at some point, it's fun to relax and have a little break, take a little vacation of all of that. And you know what? Every time I take that little recess, that little moment of vacation, it actually helps me. And when I come back, I'm kind of more of a relaxed mood. And last year, this year is a little different. It's different. But last year, I was kind of burned out a little bit. Last year, I was oh, by the way, Misery Spence, your SDR is on its way to your location. I sent it out on Wednesday because I didn't have your postal address, and I got your email that was actually sent to the I don't know why, when you posted your postal address, your email went into my junk folder, and so I was looking at the junk folder a couple of times in case, and there it was. So Wednesday, the South 66 got sent to you on Wednesday, and so you should have it in a week or two. So I hope you're gonna have fun with that, and it's a nice little thing. And once again, congratulations on winning the South 66, by the way. And yes, I did notice that you had posted Susie as the name. So congratulations once again. Really cool to have a lucky winner. And it's kind of interesting. Not only we have a winner, but it's a girl. Kind of cool. Oh God. So what else do we have? Yes, my microphone's still in customs. I see that it's in British Columbia. Stuck there, and it's been stuck there for the past week and a half. I hate it when it doesn't happen very often. I've ordered so many things off of eBay, and that come from other places, and 99% of the time they just go through. But once in a while you get that damn package that gets stuck at customs, and the tracking number, when I check it, it's like, okay, it says it's about to be verified by customs, and it's still stuck like that. And I know it takes a lot of time when that happens. I don't know, they want to make sure that there's not a bomb or something there. So whatever happens, it's kind of, what the hell, So the ionospheric thing on 5 megahertz. It's kind of fun in the morning. I liked it in the morning and the evening to see the ionospheric sounders go through. Take care, PLF. It's nice to have you on board as usual from France. You guys have it a little later than usual. So hey, you're watching the Shortwave live show. We've been on for 2 hours and 30 minutes right now. We're talking about the international broadcast bands. I don't think we'll have the time to go through the amateur radio bands. But it doesn't matter, it will extend the number of shows. It will just have different international bands and understand where it's all located in the shortwave spectrum every time. 5172 is Ale. It's a probably, I don't know if it's still there right now. Yeah. Oh, look at that. Very strong noise here. So 5172 around there is Ale. And this is NATO. It's really NATO, the North Atlantic the North Atlantic Treaty Organization that are sending bursts of data regularly on around 5172, something like that. So it's an interesting thing. Christopher Travers, nice to have you here. Jerry, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe the government is tweaking. That's it. It's okay. It's going to that guy that does the live shows that talk about, that listen to number stations and that talks about government stuff. So, well, it is a little upgraded, yes, because what happened is my wireless microphone gave out. It suddenly decided to have very low audio, and I changed the microphone. I tried a few things. Seems to be something wrong with the transmitter. So I, of course, used some of the donations, and that's why it's useful for donations, and bought a new microphone. Actually, what I bought is a base, and with it I have 3 microphones, because in the fall I'm planning to do shows where there will be multiple people talking. We each need our microphone. I have no choice for that, because and there's a lot of people, like from the couch. Right now I was using one microphone placed kind of smack in the middle between me and my nephew, and it's okay, but it's not the best of settings. So with that microphone, I'll have a microphone for everybody. I'll have 3 actually, so if I could have up to 3 people, each will have their own microphone, wireless microphone. So I can tell you that. What else do we have here? What else do we have here? That's what I'm going to do, Bobby. We'll go from time to time. NOAA 18 over Halifax. Am I hearing it right now? If it's over Halifax, it should be. Yes, I am hearing it. It's not very strong, unfortunately, but I am hearing. There we go. I don't know if you guys can hear it. The little pinging sound in the noise here is the NOAA 18 weather satellite passing overhead that I can receive on 137.912.5. And yep, not too bad. It's not very weak, but using only telescopic antenna here. It's kind of hard to receive. If it'd be passing, really overhead, it'd be strong enough to be received here. But anyways, pretty cool. So I'm in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. KC Red Dragon. Montreal, Quebec, Canada. So I'm west of Nova Scotia, in the province of Quebec. Really southern tip of southern part of province of Quebec. KC Red Dragon. Richard Tribble's got an ICOM SM20 for his transceiver, which is good. Pretty cool. Wow, you're really receiving a CHU on 14670. Wow. This is an almost impossible receive here. So pretty amazing. Let's continue quickly through our international broadcast bands so we can at least do them all tonight. Next one is the 41 meter band. 41 meter band is a mostly late afternoon and nighttime band. It has one particular thing that is happening. So first of all, I just need to check out what that is here. There's something here I want to see. What's that? Oh. Oh, it's one of the amateur bands, one of the channels of the 60 meter amateur band, 5346.5. So there's an amateur radio station on 5346.5 upper sideband, one of the 60 meter band channels. So anyways, 41 meter band, officially 7200 to 7450. My take on it is start at 7100 and go up all to 7800 kilohertz. Yes, really that wide, because there's tons of out-of-band stations in the 41 meter band. It is shared with amateur radio operators, and that, you know what, that made a lot of amateur radio operators mad. You know, a lot of amateur operators actually didn't like the fact that they were, you know, sharing the 41 meter band with international broadcasts. There are sometimes intentional interference from amateur stations on that frequency range because of that. But at least, you know, there's a lot of stuff. It's really late afternoon, evening, night band to listen to. And it is an interesting band to listen to. So, of course, as you see here, for example, if I look, there's, you know, of course, some amateur radio activity in this band, in lower sideband. Like here. Take care, Tor Henning. Hope you come back. So next week, there's a you know, satellite listening, VHF, UHF. Next shortwave show on this channel is Saturday, May 27th. So on Saturday next week. Also, hope you can make it and come back. It's nice to have you on board. Really, really, really nice. So of course, some international broadcasters also. So as you see here, for example, sorry guys, China Radio International 7210. Wow, that was a interesting speck of noise. So there's China Radio International from Albania on 7210 for right now, for example. Yeah, absolutely, David. Actually, well, I'll be seeing how things go because I'm in a big decision-making time. I have to say I'm in a very intense decision time. I talked about it this week in the radio, the Windows channel, and it's as big a decision as of going from, you know, the shows I'm doing now, trying to continue the shows I'm doing now, or you know, even the possibility of really making much less shows because I'll just not have the time to. If I have to take more tech jobs, I might have to leave a lot of live shows. They might be not as frequent. So I try. I don't want to do that. A lot of people saying no, please don't leave. But I need to think about myself also. So yeah, extendable arms. They're, I don't know, telescopic arms. There must be some more specific technical terms, but extendable arms or something. So anyways, I need to think about it. Hey, Red Alpha 65, take care. Of course, as I do things, some of the shows that I'll be, of course, some of the live shows I'll be leaving first, but I'm going to try to keep up as much as I can. And if I have to leave live shows, one of the things that probably will be is that the last live shows that I'll be stopping were the radio ones. If I have to give up some live shows, the first ones to suffer will be the Windows one. And I'll try to keep the radio shows as long as I can, if I can't really get going somehow, because I can't, monetization on YouTube has gotten too low now that I can't continue. So I have to make a decision what I'm going to do. And that's why, the donations, I've been a little heavy on the asking of donations, but they really helped a lot. So, I'm going to try to do the best that I can to have live shows. Like I said, the last live shows I'll leave, if I have to, are going to be the radio ones. Because that's my hobby, that's my real, I'm not hearing anything for NOAA 15, but is it still operating? That's just one thing. I'm not sure that NOAA 15 is still broadcasting. So anyways, it's something that the biggest problem isn't that I don't like to do what I do here. The biggest problem is I have to do it to really think about myself and how all of that is really very, very complex. So I can't stay poor all the time. Right now I'm if monetization would, I've got the worst monetization this month for 3 years and a half. So it takes a lot of time to prepare everything. So it's just that I have to make a choice of what exactly I need to do. But of course we're not there yet. And like I said, the radio shows, this is my hobby. This is something that I love. So before everything else, I gotta say I'll stop every other live show before this one. This one would be the last to go if I really had to. And but for now we're still far away from that. I need to think about this one is the most popular. It's very interesting because the most popular channel in terms of viewers is my Windows channel. And it is 70% of the monetization of YouTube. Here it's much less popular in terms of viewership. Still, I have the most popular live shows here. So this live show is more popular than any other live shows I do, which is interesting and fun. But the live shows on Windows are less popular than this. I easily get 1,000 views on this live show after it's posted after 2 or 3 days. It's difficult to get more than 300 or 400 on the Windows channel. It's a very, very interesting aspect. Yet, if you look at AdSense monetization, so YouTube views with the ads make the monetization. About 70, almost 75% of all YouTube monetization I get is from the fact that my live shows on the Windows channel are not as popular, but every day the number of views I get on the Windows channel really drives the AdSense. I have a lot of views on the Windows channel every day. That's why it's almost at 30,000 subscribers, and it's like at, I don't know, 12 million views or something. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Number of views every day is amazing on the Windows channel. The number of viewers of the live shows is smaller. But you know what? I gotta say one thing. It's I've got top fans. Now I understand when artists gets really, really hardcore fans what it is. Now I understand. I've got some hardcore fans on the Windows channel. I've got some hardcore fans here. But in terms of live shows, here is much more popular. Also, funny thing, but in terms of donations, here the radio show has come through much more than any other channel. So it's very, very interesting when you look at how everything is, and that's why I always say if I ever leave YouTube really that much, I'll try my best to keep the radio channel. The shortwave channel is kind of is the first channel I opened, and it's my little baby that I love, because it's like I just love radio. So it's kind of interesting. So yeah, but no satellites tour, you can actually record and even decode the weather maps. Hey Joey D, nice to have you here as usual. So 41 meter band shared with amateur radio operators. It's mostly an evening, late afternoon, evening, night band. Lots of stations there to listen to, and it's kind of an interesting little 7430 Radio Romania International.
Hello and welcome to a new installment of our regular series celebrating last time in this week's Montreal. Today we will tell you the stories of all ages which have been carefully selected by people who have understood that emotion related to those stories should not be wasted. An organizer of the Toys Museum Association hosts the Kassabrösösen Museum, an exhibition, the Toys Museum.
So Radio Romania, 7430 kilohertz in the 41 meter band, as we say.
Today they are practically started through my private collection. Just like any other kid born in the 1960s and 1970s, I had to take good care of my toys, because I was well aware of the fact that if I broke one, it was impossible to get a new one and replace it. I kept my utmost care and also
take care, Tor. It's nice to have you on board. Meteor M2 Russian weather sat. Yeah, I haven't heard any Meteor weather sats, Casey Red Dragon. Every time they pass over, I've never heard a signal from it. Okay, we've got... Okay, let's check it out here first. It's in 455.
You've been in my prayers too.
WBCQ, 7490 kilohertz.
Appreciate, and I do listen to every call that comes in. The one you just heard, a very sincere, deliberate call. God bless you, sir.
And so, let's move on from Brother Stare to something else before I go mad. Let's check it out here. What else do we have? Something very weak, 7710. Not a lot of stuff, eh? So 41 meters. If we continue on, PSK31, let's see, 7077.5. What do we have here? Not hearing, whoops. 7077.5. Here we go. I'm hearing, what's that? Morse code here. Lots of stations, amateur stations in the lower part of 7 megahertz. That's noise level. Lots of interesting stuff here. Lots of interesting stuff here. Okay. What else do we have? What else do we have? So we have the 49 meter band, which is, if I had to, give it a title, the 49 meter band is probably the most used international broadcast bands right now. It's starts at 5900, but don't believe it. Technically, it's 5900 to 6200 kilohertz. Started at 5700 kilohertz, yes, as low as that, and go way up to 6300 kilohertz. 49 meter band. Hey, there's AI on the sun. Look at that. You can follow it. Let's move up. Where is it going? Here we go. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Check it out. Iona sounds. Look at there. Look at that. It's coming. You can see it here coming. Woohoo! So Iona sounds are, of course, propagation radars. They send pings at all these frequencies, and they receive back the signal, which tells them what frequencies are the best. So it's still here. Look at that. Hearing it really, really far away. It's very, very nice. I love following Iona sounds. It's kind of cool. So anyways, 5700 kilohertz to 6200. It's probably the most used international broadcast band. It is an international broadcast band that is mostly late afternoon, evening, nighttime. Very little to listen to in the daytime, except for very local stuff. For example, here, daytime, I might hear CFRX Toronto 6070, CKZN Newfoundland on 6160. I might hear, in Europe there are a few 49 meter band stations. It's very very, very interesting to see, but it's mostly in late evening, nighttime band. What else do we have? So I'm going to say hello to a few new viewers. That reminds me, Patrick, when you say all those channels and nothing on, the Bruce Springsteen song, that's 57 channels and nothing on. Joey D, yeah, of course. Did you know that a non-BFO radio can still receive the clear signal if you put another radio next to it? Yeah, if you actually, it doesn't work all the time. A radio that doesn't have what it takes to receive single sideband would technically be able to receive it. Usually when you use the 455 kilohertz IF, intermediate frequency, very often it actually gives a tone on another radio, because technically it's kind of the oscillator is kind of a little transmitter, but very weak one. So yes, you can actually use another radio and do some single sideband. I've actually done it in the past. Maybe it would be fun to do a video about this, just for the fun of it. It's not a very practical way of doing it, but yes, it does work. Joseph Garrison, nice to have you here. KN4DGB, nice to have you on board. Really nice. Bob Powell 80, nice to have you here. Brian in Sydney, Australia, really cool to have you on board. Really nice, and you're on Saturday. Mike DeVita, hello there, using a Alicrafters SX28A. These are nice receivers, nice old receivers. Brett Wayne, KC2NXP, nice to have you on board, as usual. How can I make an inverted V antenna for 40 and 80 meters? You know what? If you Google it, there's a lot of YouTube videos. There's a lot of antenna. You know, there's a lot of amateur radio web pages with antenna designs that you could check out. Yes, Joey D, I am aware of that Finnish idiot that posts videos that tries to make me look like an idiot, but he's the idiot. And I will not say anything else because I don't really care. And it doesn't impact me at all. You know, not only does it not impact me, but what he's actually achieving is giving me even more visibility. So who cares? I just, he's just he's just jealous. My channel is like 10 times more popular than his, so he's like going crazy with that. And it's not just me. He's bashing every other radio channel around, thinking he's a smartass that knows everything. And I don't do that. For me, everybody's important. You're entitled to your opinion, and the rest, you know what? Just go to hell. That's what I have to say about him. Okay. What else do we have here? 9 a.m. on Saturday morning. Wow. Kind of, it's always curious and mysterious when you think about that. Richards receiving South Korean broadcast station, targeting North Korea on 6400. Wow. Dave Todd says, remember on CB, if another station put an AM carrier on a station transmitting single sideband, it would be possible to understand it. Yes, totally. 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 Do I look at the shortwave.info? Yes, Mikhail Palm, because I regularly look at shortwave.info. Regularly. I also use the IBI space because I like lists. I've got a brain for lists, but yep, it's a great place to go to. Really interesting. So, but you know what? There's also Oxford Shortwave log is also being taken. There's this guy really like doing eightfold stuff against him, and it's an Australian guy. I believe when we it's just a ransom of when you get popular. When you get popular, you got haters, and that's all it is. It does. David in Barcelona says, I heard my very first single sideband signal by attaching a 455 kilohertz external oscillator circuit to his Sony ICF's Shortwave 11. So that's kind of cool. Which fell to the floor and lost receive on long range medium wave due to a broken ferret antenna. Oh, that's sad though. A nice story that ends sadly with a broken radio. But it does happen, unfortunately. Joey D says, took apart an old Sangean ATS 909 and pulled the AM ferret antenna out of it. Is it still useful for anything? Well, it could be useful as an antenna for any medium wave type receiver. It's something, that's the kind of thing that I keep, that I always keep in my little boxes here. And because one day, you don't know why, you don't know when, but someday you'll do something and it's like, oh, I need a ferret antenna from an old medium wave radio. And you're going to do like, oh, I got one in my little box. It happened to me so frequently. David says, at the time I was still a newbie on radio, so I simply poked around with the wire coming out of the oscillator until I found a point in the ICF SW11's PCB where the SSB demodulates. Yep. Oh my God. There you go. Randall Klon says, Dave Tadlock YouTube channel. Excellent videos on making 40 and 80 meter antennas, inverted V in particular. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. We never have too many little boxes, RST111. But I understand what you're saying. But you know what? You're really happy when you've got tons of things. Everybody's telling you got too many things. And then one day you do a little something and you're like, hey, I need that part and I've got one. And you're really happy. Of course, 99% of your junk that you actually get in the little boxes, you'll never use. But you're so happy to just, you know, have that little thing that you needed that day. So, you know. I made a video of a station recently and trying too hard to determine what it is. What frequency in time? Bob Powell 80. What was the frequency in time? What's on 4582.4? 4582. I don't know if I'll hear it here. Not hearing anything. Well, maybe slide Kodar. Here you guys. I was talking about Kodar earlier. This is what it sounds like. So 49 meter band, as I was talking about, as we are digressing from subjects. Great international broadcast band, late afternoon, evening, and night. It is nice international broadcast band with lower solar activity. Lots of stations are actually using that frequency range. So go from 5700 all the way to all the way to 6300 and take a listen. There's a lot of stuff there, especially in the evening, middle of the night. It's a particularly good band for all sorts of signals from everywhere around the world. So check it out. One of the great little places to go to. We have 6,000 kilohertz, which I believe is Radio Havana, Cuba. Caribbean Beacon on 6090 kilohertz. WWCR on 6115. I'm receiving CKZN from Newfoundland 6160. Take care, Ralph. See you next week, maybe. China Radio International 6175 out of Albania in Spanish, also 6175. 1222. Just gonna check it out here. 12,221.5. Oh, 342 was local for sure, but I had to look on my YouTube channel. Okay, I'll check it out for sure. If I know what it is, I'll let you know. You know, there's a lot of local stuff also. There's a lot. Hey, I almost heard sounder again. There's a lot of local interference from our electronics also that we have at home. That's pretty bad. So it's really it's very interesting, you know. Oh, you got another ICF, a shortwave 11 at least, David. So bye, Ralph. Take care. Very interesting. Bizarre. Any SSTV on 14 megahertz? Let's check it out. 14230. Am I receiving anything? Nothing much happening right now. 14,229, 14,230. You know, that's the kind of thing that you need to, you know, tune in and tune around for a while. You know, usually when I want to listen to some slow scan TV, I'll just, you know, put it on 14,230 and leave it there. And at some point you'll hear some. So, what else do we have here? Parents say that we need a list of the best non-religious shortwave station. Yeah, some of them are a little mixed though. You know, there's mixed shortwave station and non, you know, with religious and non-religious stuff. So it's a little hard. Take care, Jane Dagger. It was nice to have you on board. Take care, Juan Amigo. And remember next week the shows we have. I like Brother Stare when he starts ranting on at Glenn Hauser, and then Glenn Hauser gets back at him at the World of Radio TV show. Yeah, FSTV is Fast Scan TV, amateur stuff. There's Slow Scan and Fast Scan television. Fast Scan television is mostly, if I'm not wrong, it's mostly in the VHF, UHF, even more in the UHF range of the amateur spectrum. For sure. CT1CJJ, or CJJ, yeah. From Portugal, 14205. Let's check it out. 14205.
Good evening, yes, 59.
Wow, he's really strong.
Thank you. You also 59 Charlie Tango and Charlie Japan, Kyoto.
Really strong for Portugal.
Sugar Papa Delta 59. Thank you. And nice to work you again. Whiskey Sierra, evening 59, over. Charlie Tango and Charlie Japan, Japan.
Very, very good signal from Portugal on 14205 upper sideband. Amazing. Amazing. And if we just, you know, quickly, and the rest of the bands are more like smaller international broadcast bands. If we terminate our last little bands here. So what do we have? We have the 60 meter band, which is a tropical band, goes from about 4,700 to 5,200 kilohertz. Some US stations have started to broadcast there, but it's a tropical band in general, so lots of stations from South America, Central America, a few Africans there. It's not as popular as it was before. It's one of those frequency ranges to listen to. We have also the 75 meter band. This is strictly European, if I'm not mistaken. 3,900 to 4,000. You guys in Europe have some stations there. In North America, we mostly hear amateur radio stations there. There's the 90 meter frequency, which is 3,200 to 3,400. Tropical areas, once again. Frequencies to note here. 3320, I hear Sunder Grins, the South African station. There's a few North American WWCR and stuff that is there. That's really kind of a tropical area. And finally, 2,300 to 2,500 kilohertz. I've never heard a station there, but there are some stations, a few stations still left that use that frequency range. Is the 120 meter band. The last frequencies I've told you: 60 meters, 75 meters, 90 meters, and 120 meters. Everything below 6 megahertz. Nighttime only. Once the sun sets, that's when you start hearing the stations. Once the sun rises, disappears. So we did the last ones quite quickly, but you know, we'll keep the amateur bands for the next show. I think that's going to be interesting for that. So let's go back to that Portugal AM station. So 14230 around there is the best place for SSTV, but nothing right now that I can hear of for now. So Shannon Volmet on 3413 for Richard Cook. Pretty cool. What else do we have? Oh, and it's the DX section of 80 meters, 3,900 to 4,000 too. Wow, okay. Mick, take care. And all the beer's gone. And no more beer. It's like, oh man, I love the show. No more beer. It's getting late. Better go to bed. Thanks for being here as always. It's always fun to have everyone on board, of course. So, hey guys, we're gonna call it quits for tonight. I am kind of hungry and I want to eat a little something. Once again, last little, just before we go, if you like to help me out, PayPal donations at the Yahoo email you see here. Don't have to be a big amount. Just you know, keeps up the spirit, keeps up the live shows. For anybody that actually loves what I do, please think about it. It's really, really appreciated. And I want to thank everybody who donated. You guys are great. Gotta tell you. So, hey, I'm gonna go eat something. So we're gonna leave. For tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed this show. We had a nice, nice turnout. We reached like 85 at some point, which is very nice for a Friday, which usually tends to have a lower audience than Saturday evenings. Thanks everyone that have participated today. Always nice to have all of you here. It's really, really cool. So the next radio shows, I gotta tell you, yes, I need to feed DX too. You will want to have some food, that's for sure, Patrick. So, okay, 2 shows coming. Remember again, on Friday, next Friday, May 26th, on the VHF UHF channel. Okay? We will be listening live to satellites on VHF UHF frequency ranges. That's on the VHF UHF channel. And Saturday, May 27th, Shortwave show. We'll be focusing on the amateur radio bands and going through all of them and talking about the propagation characteristics, how they're divided, what you can hear. Amateur radio is another big chunk of shortwave. I think it's important to know where it is and how to listen. So, thank you all for being here as usual. Always fun to do these shows. Love it. Take care, everyone. And stay safe. And hope to see you next week for the radio shows. Bye. Take care, everyone.